Welcome everyone to our Let Them Theory Book Club. This is our first meeting for our Expect Miracles Team Book Club, and this is what we're reading until we get done. We don't have a timeline. We're just going to be reading this, taking our time and talking about it chapter by chapter. And if it takes more than 1 week to get through one chapter, then that's what we'll do. Okay. So tonight we're going to do the intro. And I don't know, have you all had a chance to read this or to listen to it? Okay, that's okay. So what I'm going to do is go over what I've highlighted, and then we can everybody can discuss. So if you have something to say while I'm going through this, please like unmute and discuss this with me, because that's what this is for. It's not just for me to go over this, it's for us to all be like talking about it and what we think, and because there'll be stuff that comes up and it'll be like, oh yeah, and this and this. So please, like, I want you to be involved. Okay. It can't be just me talking on this. It can, but I want you to be involved too. Okay. So it talks about this. Mel Robbins wrote this. I don't know if you follow her on Instagram, but she is amazing. So she's got podcasts. If you are a podcast person, Mel Robbins has a podcast. And she's just a really cool person to listen to. So she was 41 and she found herself $800,000 in debt. Okay. And she was unemployed, watching her husband's restaurant business crumble. It felt like she'd failed in life. That's the first sentence of the intro. Okay. To deal with the anxiety and self-doubt, her main strategy became avoidance. Does anybody else do that? Me. I do that. Like, I just want to hole up and sleep. Okay. That's what I do. Avoiding getting hit by a snooze, avoiding getting up by hitting the snooze button, avoid pain with alcohol, avoid responsibility by blaming others. Um, Avoid looking for a job by procrastination. Who's a procrastinator? Your girl. Um, and so she talks about she enviously watched as her friends found success after success in their careers, and while she was struggling to get groceries. Okay. Now, I know you all have heard my story about, well, maybe you haven't, but about us. Like, we used to be so tight budget wise that I shopped at the beginning of the month, and if we were out of food by the 5th, then we ate a beanie weenie, like hot dog mixed in with a box of mac and cheese for the rest of the month. Like, I knew what meals I was going to make, and we shopped by the month, and if we ran out of food, that was it. We didn't have the money to go get the extra food.
Yeah.
And so she was watching people do that. I know I was doing that. I was
Mhm.
like, why can't I snap out of this? Why aren't we doing this? And so she said she felt completely lost, like nothing she did was ever enough to dig them out of the hole. Who else has felt like that? I think we've all felt like that financially, mentally, physically. Like, what else? And
Yeah.
so it says, if you've ever been in this situation, you understand how monumental even the simplest things can be, right? Even the simplest tasks, getting out of bed, opening your mail, being fully present with your family, cooking a nice meal, even just being honest about the extent on which you're struggling.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything feels impossible. Every morning when she woke up, the anxiety was coursing through her veins. And she thought, is this really what's going to look like for the rest of my life? I know I've been there. I'm not sure about y'all, but I have been there,
Yeah.
you know? Okay, and then it goes on and it says the funny thing about being stuck is she knew exactly what she needed to do. She needed to get up, tackle the bills, get the kids ready for school, make herself go on a walk, reach out, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and yet she couldn't seem to do any of it. Okay, I know, I understand this feeling. Like I have been there. I was there even recently, like really recently. And so the next section talks about how she changed her life. And to me, this is a key. Okay. You know how on a countdown from Rocket, they count down from 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, all the way to, okay. So she did, it was called NASA Countdown Blast Off 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So when that alarm went off, instead of hitting snooze, she counted to herself 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and she got up out of bed. Okay. Um, she thought, what if I just counted backwards like that and launched myself out of bed? It seemed ridiculous, but she was desperate, so she gave it a shot. She counted backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and she got out of bed. Just like that, y'all, just like that. And she didn't think about how tired she was or how much she didn't want to face her problems. It's like launching a rocket. Once you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're out, you're launched, right? And so at that point, she was used to letting her thoughts paralyze her and fear and stress consume her. And so launching herself out of bed felt really foreign. It felt really weird. But she kept doing that. And she said that's when she thought to herself, wait a minute, wait a minute. She said, I can feel horrible and still do what she needs to do. So she said, yes, Mel, I can. And it worked. So in those 5 seconds, she had interrupted her overthinking about having to do all the things. Right. So it felt like a small bit victory, but it was a revelation. Guys, this truly is a revelation. Like if you're not wanting to do something, your brain is telling you that, and you are paralyzed, you give yourself 5 seconds. You're like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up and do. It will probably only take you a 2-minute task that you are having take brain space in your brain that is just not good. You want to get it done, and get it out of your brain. It goes like that for cleaning your room. It goes like that for doing the dishes. It goes like that for the laundry. It goes like that to make a post. It goes like that to call somebody. How many of y'all think, oh, I'm going to call them later, or I need to call so and so, and then it just goes out of your mind and you don't call them? And then you remember 2 weeks later, oh, yeah, I wanted to call them. I'm going to do that today. And it doesn't. So you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and make the call, because it will probably only take you a couple minutes to tell the person what you were going to tell them. But with me, I get so paralyzed by all the things I feel like I need to do or all the things I've not done that I get stuck right here and don't do any of it. Okay. And so this book is going to be life-changing about this. Okay. And so she said, in those 5 seconds, I had interrupted the cycle of overthinking. It felt like a small victory, but it was a revelation. If I could push through those 5 seconds of fear, maybe I could push through anything. And you can. I mean, that is, so she began counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and every time something needed to be done, she felt motivated to do it. She didn't feel motivated to do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up when the alarm rings. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pick up the phone and start networking to find a job. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, open the bills that have been piling up for months. She said she started calling this the 5-second rule. Okay. And so the moment you have an instinct to act, you have to physically move within those 5 seconds. So when you start retraining your brain like that, your brain's going to try to talk you out of it. And you're like, nope, just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and move. Okay. Take action before hesitation kicks in. That's what she's talking about. And guys, she's talking about life. She's not talking about plexus here. She's not talking about, whatever. She is talking about life, because we get into those ruts in life where we do not want to move. So even if you are laying there and you're just your brain is telling you, I don't want to move, you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up and do this for 5 seconds and then lay back down. You are moving energy. Okay. Like, you've got to get up, move your energy around. This happened with me in February when I was trying to go Ruby. Okay. Like, I had so much on my mind that I was stuck. And so I could feel in my body the energy that was just stuck in there. So I started going, like, when I had that feeling, I would get up and go pedal a few times on my stationary bike. And I have one of those old stationary bikes that was my mother-in-law's. Okay. And she was 95 when she died. So this bike is old. It ain't no Peloton. It's one of the ones where you crank the thing to see how hard you do, like the 10-speed bike, like that kind of thing. So I went out and counted to 30, did 35. First I did 25 on my legs, and I was like, okay, and then I went to 30 and then 35. But I could feel when I got off of there that things had moved around in my body and things were better. Like, I could do other tasks, like go do the dishes or start that load of laundry, or make that post that I needed to make, or contact the person that I wanted to contact. Like, it started a whole new thing with me. And I'm not talking about just that. You can do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm telling you, just move around. Get some energy out, because you're trying to move your brain space. Okay.
Yeah. Get some flow going. Yeah.
Yes. Get some flow going. Exactly. And it said, once you start moving, it's way easier to keep going, right? We all know when we get out of bed in the morning, we could just get right back into that warm spot and sleep all dang day. I mean, we want to. But once we get up out of bed and get going, it's better. So 5-second move at a time, she forced herself to put one foot in front of the other and slowly step back into life. Okay. So she said, I won't lie to you, it wasn't easy. The next couple of years were among the hardest of her life. It's not easy to claw your way out of debt, out of painful issues. It's not easy to quiet anxiety and push through self-doubt. It's hard to update your resume and look for a job when you question the value of what you bring. It says it's a grind to force yourself back into shape and create healthier habits you've let yourself go. Okay. It's definitely not glamorous. The 5-second rule taught her that action is the answer. Okay. Because it's just moving around energy. So it's thinking about your problems thinking about your problems will never solve your problems. You got to move. You got to do. And I'm not talking about move and do and, physically. I'm like, you've got to move your brain. You've got to get up. You've got to move around, go take a couple deep breaths, even in the bathroom or something, Let me see. Waiting around to feel like doing something means you're never going to do it. Okay. Period. It taught her that no one is coming to save her. She must save herself from herself. You must save yourself from yourself. There's no one that can make you physically get up and do. You have to be able to get yourself. And when you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, especially you Maplewood Rocket people, you know, because you had the mascot. Okay. You have to force yourself to make little moves all day long. And if you're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, especially when you don't feel like it, it says using 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, she pushed through excuses, anxiety, overwhelm, and fear. Who has that? Excuses, anxiety, overwhelm, fear. Me. Like you are not the only one that's going through this. I promise. Okay. Um, and step by step, week by week, she took action. She put her life and career back on track. It wasn't an overnight fix, y'all. Just like us using Plexus is not an overnight fix. We can't lose the 85 plus pounds that we gained over all these years. And I'm talking Babette Seals overnight. I didn't lose 85 pounds overnight. You know, it came off gradually, just like it came on. And so that's how you're going to train yourself step by step, week by week. Her husband started using it to push himself to face his issues. Let me tell you, when you start counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you can do it in your head or you can do it out loud. And your husband or your significant or your mom or your dad or whoever's going to go, what are you doing? You're like, I'm launching myself. Like, this is how I get myself to move. And they're going to be like, oh, okay. And they'll see the difference in you, then they'll start doing it. Okay. All right. She said the 5-second rule countdown spread by word of mouth all over the world. As it spread, people started to write her and thank her for this. She got over it. Like she said, when I had been drowning in my problems, I felt like I was the only one who had trouble doing the things I needed to do. Who else feels like that? Like you're the only one that has trouble doing these things. Like you don't, you are among company. Okay. And so we have so much more in common than than we think we do. Like we look at someone else's life and be like, oh, they've got it all together. Guess what? No, they don't. Okay. Um, she said it's not true. We struggle with motivation. It's a universal problem, and the 5-second rule seemed to be a solution that not only worked for her, but also worked for people all over the world. Okay, so if this is working for people all over the world, it can work for us too, right? So people use a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 to push through fear, procrastination, excuses, to change jobs, lose 100 pounds, get sober, launch and sell businesses, improve their health and their marriage. The medical and clinical uses blew her away. Doctors and psychologists were using it to treat PTSD, OCD, and depression. So to me, that was huge. That was huge. We have PTSD in our house. We also have depression. Maybe a little bit of OCD, but you know, okay. It says even if she's writing the intro, she's heard from over 1,000 people who've used the 5-second rule. She did a TED talk on it. So y'all can look up her TED talk. Just Google Mel Robbins TED talk 5-second rule. TED talks are like 11 minutes long. Okay. Small, consistent action changes everything. I'm on page 6, going on to 7 here. Meanwhile, her friends and extended family had no idea what she was doing because she was too scared to tell them. She said, Mel, giving advice, give me a break. She nearly destroyed her own life. This is the trash that was in her head, right? Yet alone, she'd heard from thousands of people how much it was changing their lives. So, she said she knew she wanted to teach the 5-second rule full time and somehow make her career. She said, I suppose I was just waiting for some kind of permission to put myself out there. Okay. And so I started this. It says, maybe you're doing that right now, waiting for the right time, waiting to feel ready or a little less afraid, waiting for someone to come along and tell you that today is the day to start. The problem with waiting is no one is coming. Okay. The only permission you need to start something is your own. Period. You don't need my permission. You don't need your mom's, your friends, your dad's, your son, your daughter. You don't need anybody's permission to start something. You can start it. It said deciding to get serious about trying to make money as a motivational speaker was one of the best decisions she's ever made. We'll put that in that sentence. Deciding to get serious about trying to make money at helping people with their health and wellness was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I wish I would have done it sooner. You know, okay, it said by forcing herself out of bed in the morning that she didn't feel like it. How did this happen? She forced herself out of bed. She learned how to push herself to take action when she was afraid or full of self-doubt or overwhelmed with excuses is life skill you can learn. You can learn this, okay? And it's okay. It's okay if you step back and it's okay to come back. Like we have to learn how to stop beating ourselves up is what I think too. Because that's part of my paralyzation is I didn't do it. I didn't do it last week. I'm not going to, so why should I do it this week? Because I lived and and so I always am talking to myself like, listen, get up out of bed, and so I really like this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It says, once you master it, you'll understand that you can achieve anything through small, significant, consistent moves forward. Because if you think about it, if you just move 1% towards something a day, in 100 days, you'll have moved 100%. Small, consistent moves. Okay. She found herself on the road. Let's see. She learned 3 important things. First, most of us are just trying to do our best and get ahead, pay our bills, raise our family, fall in love, have more fun, reach the potential of our lives, right? And so they're just looking for simple ways to be a little happier and make their lives a little better. And isn't that what we're doing? So we're not only looking for those resources for ourselves, we're looking for the people in our lives who need them too. Right there's the bingo sentence. We're not only looking for ourselves because if we gatekeep, our neighbor's going to be sad. Our neighbor's going to be unhealthy. Our neighbor's going to be this, or a family member, or whatever. We can't gatekeep. We've got to tell them about it. That's why I told you all about this book. I also study this book with another book club on Mondays and Wednesdays. Okay. So I'm like, this will be great for my team. This book will. So, and then third, nothing brings more joy than sharing what she learned with people. So isn't it cool when you share with somebody and they have success or something changes in their life? It's like, whoa, yes, I helped with that. I may have not done it all, but I helped. I opened my mouth and said something. So she's made the decision to find and share simple tools to help anyone create a better life. I'm underlining that. And the simple part is if you remember it, you'll use it, right? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all know that. Did you know that high-fiving yourself in the mirror is one of the fastest ways to rewire your mindset for self-confidence? So I want to see a high five picture of you in the mirror. I want you like this, high fiving yourself, okay? And we'll have a deal in the chats or whatever, we can put a little hand in there. That's like high five. We're high fiving you, you're high fiving yourself. I've high fived myself today. Okay. It's called The High Five Habit. The New York Times best-selling book. She dug into research and that is her other book called The High Five Habit. Okay. The more results people achieve using the 5-second rule and the high five habit, the more organizations, medias, company, corporate brands asked her to create programming for their teams and audiences. So she launched a business and she said, for everything I have accomplished, I had no prior experience. Like, or the proper credentials. She didn't have a degree behind her name. She hadn't been trained in high five. She hadn't been trained in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She said she just made herself do it. Okay. That's like what I did. I just jumped into Plexus. I didn't know anything about gut health. I didn't know anything about anything. And so I just put myself in situations where I would learn. And let me see. I was 41 when I hit rock bottom and created the 5-second rule to help me get out of bed. I was 44 when I had that anxiety attack on the the TED Talk stage. I was 46 when I got my first speaking paycheck. 49 when I self-published her first book, The 5-Second Rule. I was 50 when I started my media production company, and I was 54 when I launched the Mel Robbins podcast, one of the most popular, fastest growing podcasts in the world, y'all. She was 50, 54. Okay. I was 54 when I started Plexus. So, you young ones, you've got such a great opportunity here, like for your health, for your wealth, for other people, for their health and wealth. Like, I wish I would have started the 9 years before. You can, my mom used to say, you can wish in one hand and poop in the other. And she didn't use the word poop. And she said, and you can see which one will fill up the fastest. It's the poop hand, right? So I get over that. It's not like I don't sit and like, oh, I wish I'd have done it and then let that paralyze me. I'm just telling you all that I wish I would have been your age when I found this stuff because it's such a great tool. Okay. So what time is it? 8:30. Let me see up here. Okay, we've got just a couple more pages and we'll be through the intro, okay? It says, changing my life wasn't glamorous. It was grueling. I woke up every day, and regardless of how I felt, I kept slowly chipping away at my goals for over a decade. Painstakingly slow process. Some days some days all I focused on was just trying to get a little better than I was the day before. Okay. Often that's all you need to do. She said, I'm not special or different or gifted or lucky. I just found the tools that worked for me and I used them. And so today, her entire career and life purpose is about sharing that. That's us too, right? Our entire career is basically about sharing what we're learning about natural healing. And so, she says she's not saying any of this to brag. She goes, one day you just get tired of your own excuses and you force yourself to do it. And she said, you never you're never going to feel like going to the gym. One day you'll just make yourself go. You're never going to feel like having the hard conversation. One day you just get sick of avoiding it and you force yourself to have it. One day you'll never, she said, you'll never feel like looking for a better job. One day you'll just push yourself to start looking. The 5-second rule will help you push through your own internal obstacles and take action when you don't feel motivated to do so. So it says, and if you use it for long enough, you'll be shocked to see what you can achieve. So in your gratitude journal, you can write what you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for that day, right? So I'm grateful that I 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 got myself up out of bed. Or I 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and wash the dishes. Or I 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and send a message. And I didn't die. So the 5-second rule works because it helps you win the internal battle you have with yourself, right? So when you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and you hop out of bed, yes, I did it. You've won the internal battle with yourself. When you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and you hop in the shower, like with me, I can push off washing my hair for days and days and days. But I need to wash my hair about every 2 or 3 days. So I have to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 myself going to wash my hair. Yeah, I don't know why that's such a big deal for me, but it just is. I mean, my hair doesn't get greasy, so it doesn't look dirty, but I know it starts smelling like a wet dog, you know? So it says, here's what it can't do. It cannot remove the external battles you have to fight every day. No matter how many times you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it won't stop traffic jams. It won't, or inconsiderate strangers, or micromanaging boss, or your family's endless judging, or guilt trips, or passive comments, or demands. And one thing she knows for sure, the more you say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and push yourself to change, the more you'll wish other people would change too, huh? Because you're putting in the work and you can see how much it would help somebody else if they would just try it, right? And it says this, that brings us to this book. For the past decade, she's focused on discovering, creating, teaching, and sharing simple ways she can improve herself and others, help others improve themselves. She's never tackled the number one factor based on research that determines whether you and I live a healthy and happy life, relationships. Okay. That's where the let them theory comes in. And says 2 years ago, she stumbled onto the words let them. It was like flipping a switch onto her life. The 5-second rule changed her relationship with herself. The let them theory changed her relationship with other people. Okay. So the 5-second rule is about self-improvement. It will help you get yourself out of bed on tough days, get to the gym, sit down and start writing, open a mountain of bills, take the risk, sign up for a class, finally look at your bank statement, do the last 2 weeks of laundry, or take the AI coding class you know you wanted to take. Okay. It says every time you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you will push yourself through hesitation, procrastination, overthinking, and doubt. You'll teach yourself how to make an action plan no matter how you feel. That's why it works. Okay. It's because you're doing it to and for yourself. She said, but over the years, she's wondered, why do I need to consistently force herself forward? Why am I so afraid of failing? Why am I so nervous about taking a risk? Why do I have a hard time asking for what I need? What exactly is in my way? Okay, that's where we start this let them theory. She said, have you truly stopped and considered these questions for yourself? Why do you hesitate? What is it that's causing you to procrastinate or feel so tired or overthink every decision? What's underneath all that doubt? What is stopping you from doing what you need to do or living your life the way you want to live? What are you afraid of? That's on page 12, first paragraph. And if you sit and you journal and you write the answers to this, it will come. It says, she says, I was shocked when I discovered the answer for myself. It was other people, or rather, how I was letting other people impact me. So she gave them permission to impact her those ways. Okay. She said, I was spending too much time and energy managing or worrying about other people, what they do, what they say, what they think, how they feel, and what they expect from me. The reality is, no matter how hard you try or what you do, you cannot control other people. And yet you live your life as you can. To me, I mean, I starred that, I underlined it, all the things. She said, you live as though if you say the right things, people will like you. If you keep taking on more work, your boss will respect you. If you act the right way, and cater to what your mom wants, and also keeping your friends happy, somehow you'll find peace. You won't. You know what that's called? People pleasing. Okay. In this book, you're going to learn two words: let them. Let them. And it can set you free, free from opinions, free from drama and judgment from others. It says free from exhausting cycle of trying to manage everything and everyone around you. Okay. The let them theory is a proven message to teach you how to protect your time and energy and focus on what matters to you. You've spent too long chasing approval, managing other people's happiness, and letting their opinions hold you back. Who has done this? I know I have. When I started trying to post, I was like, oh my gosh, but what if they look at my picture and I got a booger in my nose? Or what if, they look at a picture and they see the wrinkles on my face? Or, what if they see how much weight I still have? Or what if, what if, what if, you know? I mean, I finally started. And so it says, uh, I think I already said this. You've spent too long chasing approval, managing other people's happiness, and letting their opinions hold you back. Learn how to stop giving your power away and start creating a life where you come first, your dreams, your goals, and your happiness. Okay? Because guess what? What is the saying? If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. If you ain't happy, ain't nobody happy around you. So you have to take responsibility for your own happiness and what makes you happy, what gets it done. It may not make you happy to get up out of bed right now, but it'll make you happy when you have accomplished all the things that are in your brain trash, like the pile of clothes, the dishes, that having to take the dog for a walk or to the vet, or whatever. And it says the best part: the let them theory doesn't just change your life for the better, it transforms the life of everyone around you. Right? And it's okay. So now I'm on the last page of this, and it says the book covers the let them theory. What is it, why it works, and how to use it in 8 key areas of your life where you're trying to control things that simply cannot be controlled. Okay. It is packed with research, evidence, and stories about how you can apply the let them theory. And you'll learn that this approach is supported by ancient philosophies, therapeutic modalities, and core teachings of the world's most major religions, stoicism, and spiritual practices. Okay, so it talks about the scientific research and it's not a textbook. And this book is meant to be a guide to applying this let them theory to the principles that are most important to your life. Um, that's why it's written in such an easy way to understand. Plus, you can find summaries at the end of each section, so the key takeaways are at your fingertips. And you can immediately put those to what you're learning. So she just talks about she cannot wait for you to read this. This will be one of the most liberating and empowering things you will ever experience. And it begins with 2 simple words.
Let them.
Let them.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's the end of the intro, and we'll do chapter 1 next week. I don't know if we'll make it all the way through chapter 1, but if you guys can, just kind of read a page a day,
Yeah.
or get the Audible and listen to it while you're doing the dishes or while
I
you're
got
doing whatever. So,
really good. I wish we can have the word. I wish they had the words in it, but it's just audible.
oh,
Mhm.
yeah,
But it's fine.
yeah. And
Better.
see, you can listen to that a couple times, so that it sticks.
I have 2 hours left on it, so
On the whole book?
yes, yes. So it's 10 hours. Yeah, because I listen to it when I can. Like when I go to work, I'll listen 20 minutes of it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it stops.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So next week, what I want you to do in between now and next Wednesday is listen to chapter 1 again and
Okay.
make some notes so that you can tell me what you like the most about chapter 1.
See, I just pause it, go on with my day. See, I'm almost done with it. It's like 3 hours,
Uh-huh.
3 hours of it.
Is that her? Does she read it?
Yeah, it's her. See, look.
Yeah.
People,
So,
one theme that comes up a lot that is
yeah.
very hard to see in yourself
Yeah, that's her.
is judgment.
So you can get it on Audible and she reads you the book. If you're
Yeah.
not a big reader, I'm not a big reader, but I like to underline my stuff, especially on books that are this good, that have this much meat in them. Okay. And so this is not only going to help your business, but it's really to help your mindset and your personal life and really everything that we do. Okay. And it's going to tell you, let them think that. Let them do that. Let them whatever, you know? And I've been trying to do this a little bit more in my life because your girl's a control freak. Like, I want to know this is going to be done, this is going to be done, this is going to be done. But if it's not done, I'm like, okay, let that not happen because they're choosing, other people are choosing that. It's not on me to choose for them.
Yeah.
So that's what I had a hard time with for a long time. And I'm learning through this book and through other things, just from other, being in other being around other people, like, let them have the opinion that they want to have.
Yeah.
you know let them do their thing, because you're not going to change that. You will just change them by, they'll be motivated to see how you're changing, then they're going to change. And if they don't, let them not.
Yeah.
But this book is super good, y'all.
It really is. I love it. It really is.
I'm gonna end this recording